Hello, Mr. Stolle here. So today we are starting with factorization. Okay, so factorization. So it's actually factorization 1. Okay, it's for grade 10. Okay, let's get into it and see what we have today. Now, when you are doing factorization, what you actually bringing brackets now. So you see we're doing expansion. Previously, we were doing expansion where we need to remove the brackets. Now we need to introduce brackets because when you're factorizing, we are expressing whatever expression that we are given as factors because we are having factors. So for example, here, if we have got 6x cubed plus 12x, we need to look for what we call the highest common factor. So with the highest common factor is a value or a numerical, being numerical or even a variable that can go into both of these values here. So if we are to check for 6x cubed, we see that in terms of numbers, it's 6 that is common. Then in terms of the variables, it's actually the x. So what do you need to understand here? You need always to take the lowest order. Let's say you are given a squared plus 2a to the power of 4y plus, let's say, 3a cubed. So what you need to do here is to factor out the smallest, the one with the lowest order. In this case, it will be a squared. Okay. Then we say a squared into a squared, you get 1. So some of you guys, you leave this. So when you put CA and A, you think it's 0, then you skip that, then you go to a to the power 8 into 2a4. That's where you get 2a to the power of 2. Then plus 3, then a into a cubed is you're going to get a. So what you do here, you subtract the powers the exponents. You subtract the exponent. So if we say a squared into a cubed, we're going to say 3 minus 2, which is going to give us 1. So in this case, we have 8 to the power of 1. Then we have got 2a squared here. Then we have our 1 there. So always, guys, don't forget to put that value on. Now, let's look at the factor here. So let's use another color here. So if we are to check here, it's going to be 6. In terms of x, it's going to be x. Then we take out 6x outside. 6x into 6x cubed. We're going to see 6 into 6 is going to give us 1. X into x cubed is going to give us x squared. Then plus 6 into 12, we're going to get 2. X into x is going to give us 1. Then we leave it like that. So that will be our answer like that. Now, let's look here and see what we have. Let's apply what we have learned now. So what goes into 16, 8, and 36? What number is that? To me here, I would think of 4. So 4 will go into 16, 4 will go into 8, 4 will also go into 36. Now, what about in terms of m? I will take m squared because I look for the lowest order. So here is m squared. Okay, let's look for n. N, I will take n cubed because here we have got n to the power of 7. Here we have got n to the power of 8, which are all big orders. So let's look here. We have got our factor here. This is our highest common factor. Now, 4 into 16 is 4. Then if we say m squared into m to the power of 4, we're going to get m squared. Then n cubed into n8 is going to give us 5, n5. So we are actually saying 8 minus 3, we get 5. Then minus, this is the minus that we're having here, 4 into 8, we're going to get 2. M squared into m cubed, we're going to get m. N cubed into n7, we're going to get n, n4. So you're going to get n4 there. Then plus 4 into 36, we're going to get 9. M squared is going to cancel. N3 is going to cancel. Then we're going to get our answer as 4m squared n cubed in bracket 4m squared n5 2mn plus 2n4 plus 9. That's what we get as our final answer. Okay, let's look here. We're actually having a different scenario now. We are now having a plus b, a plus b. So we see that a plus b is common. But when you are seeing a plus b, don't consider it as something that is big. Take it even as y. So you can even say let a plus b, sorry about that, let a plus b be, let's say, let's in this case, we can take a p. Let's take it as p. Now, if we are taking it as p, we can now say xp plus yp. Now, from what we have learned here, we're going to say, okay, we are going to take p outside because it's common. We find it there, here and here. Then we are left with x plus y. So I would want you to consider it the same way here. Because now, taking back your answer, we're going to say it's going to be a plus b, x plus y. That's going to be our answer. So that's what we also need to think of when we are faced with such a question. So in this case here, we're going to say what's common here is a plus b, a plus b. We take a plus b, then also say x plus y. That becomes our final answer. So I don't want you to think it as something that is complicated. Just consider it as just a letter. Let's continue. Then we have something like this now. Can you see what we are having here? It's a different case now. We are having q plus r, then we have got r plus q. It might seem simple to some, but to some, they actually will consider this as different. So what you need to understand here is that when we have got a plus b, this is the same as b plus a. Unless if we are subtracting. Where do we see subtraction? Let's say here we have got c minus d. This cannot be equal to d minus c. So whenever you see something like this, you don't need to worry. You need to understand that this is the same. So when you are adding, it's always the same. 2 minus 4, like 2 plus 4 is equals to 4 plus 2. But if we say 2 minus 4, will it be equals to 4 minus 2? That would be a lie. So they are not equal. So here, always consider that, guys, don't forget that this is the same when you're adding. So you're going to take out, what is it? Your q plus r, and you're left with what? 3p minus 4m. So that would be your answer. So we're taking out, what is it? Q plus r as what we call as our highest common factor. Then what is it? Our final answer now will be left with 3p here minus 4m. That should be our answer like that. Then we come to the next one here, which is actually very much similar because we've got m minus 3n, m minus 3n. We take m minus 3n. In other bracket, we are left with 7k minus 3p. So we must understand that we must keep this in brackets. We must keep this in brackets, guys. Okay, so if you remember what we have learned from the beginning when we were starting expansions, we see that we're given something like this. A plus B, then C plus D. And what have we learned? We learned that if we have got such a scenario here, we are going to take A outside, then it's going to be C plus D. Then we say plus B, and we are left with C plus what? C plus D. That's what we know. Then that's how we could easily expand and now say this one is going to be AC plus AD. It goes on as to say plus BC when you're removing the brackets, plus AD plus BC plus BD. That's what we have learned before when we're doing expansion. But now we are saying this is the step that we are at. And what do we need to do? We need to go back to that when we're factorizing. Okay, that's what we are given here. So we've got m minus 3n, m minus 3n, which is very much common. So we take out the m minus 3n, then we are left with 7k minus 3p. So that's what we are doing here. We are going back. Then let's see what we have here. We can see that what's common here is x minus y. So we're going to say x minus y. And on this one here, we're going to be left with x minus y, because it's x minus y into x minus y squared. Then it's going to be x minus y minus 3. So that becomes our final answer. Okay, someone like, what's going on here? We don't understand. I understand that. Let's take you let's go there using another route now. Let's say when we are solving this, it's x minus y squared minus 3x minus 1. Okay, now what we need to say, we need to do this, let x minus y be D. So let it be D. So we're going to say D squared minus 3D. And when we have got D squared minus 3D, we're going to factor out, and we're going to factor out D because D is common. Then in the brackets, we're going to be left with the D minus 3. Now our D now, we know what our D is. Our D is x minus y. Then we need to put it in bracket. Then we open another one, x minus y. Then we have got minus 3 there. That becomes our final answer. So it's either way, you still get the final answer. Okay, so these are your final, this is your final answer here. Wait, the final answer, sorry. Your final answer is here and here. So you can use this method if you understand much better now, or you can actually do this way if it depends with you guys. You take the easiest route. But we give you everything so that it's available to you. Now, let's look at this and see what we have. We are having a different scenario now because we are having a plus c to the power of 4 and a plus c to the power of 5. But why does it seem difficult? Because we are represented now with a plus c. But if it was x to the power of 4 plus x to the power of 5, we're not going to have a problem. We're going to say, okay, it's going to be x to the power of 4, which is the smallest one, which is the lower order. Then we're left with x with the power of 4 to the power of, divided by x to the power of 4, it's going to give us 1. Then we say plus x. Because it's 5 minus 4 is going to give us 1. So here, x to the power of 1, which is just equal to x. So this is the same that we need also to do here. We're going to say a plus c to the power of 4 is the smallest one. Then we're left with 1 plus a plus c. That's what we'll be left with. So here is what we have. So we are taking the lowest order of A plus C, which is the power of 4. When we take it out as a highest common factor, we are going to be left with what we call 1 there. So highest common factor is equals to A plus C to the power of 4. So our final answer will be this. Okay? Let's look at this and see. Well, let's just bring it down here and see what we can do. Now, in this case now, we are given m minus n, m minus n. This is the power of 2. This is the power of 6. We take the lower order. Remember, we take m minus n squared. Then we are left with, remember, we're saying 6 divided by 2. What do we get? We get, 6 minus 2. We get, what we call, to the power of what? 6 the power, we get 6 minus 2, we're going to get 4. So it means it's going to be m minus n, okay? M minus n to the power of 4 plus 1. That's what we have now. So we've got m minus n to the power of 2 multiplying m minus n in the small bracket to the power of 4 plus 1. That's what we have as our final answer. So you can also take this as what you call, let's say, you can say let m minus n be x. So this one is going to be x to the power of 6 plus x squared. Then you're going to take x squared here outside. Then you're left with x 6 minus 2 is going to give you 4, x the power of 4 plus 1. That's what we get as a final answer. So in this case now, this is what we have, because it's going to be m minus n, then also here, squared here, then m minus n, the power of 4 plus 1. That will be our final answer. Okay, let's look at this one here. Let's look at this one. We have got 7x, m plus 3n. Then we have got negative m, negative 3n inside here. So what you need to understand here, remember, we are upgrading here. We are upgrading. We are going up. It's get tricky as we go up. So here, we need to understand something now new. When we say a plus b, sorry, a minus b, this is the same as minus a minus b, like that. So here, a minus b is equals to minus b minus a. So when you want to change, when you want to swap these two, you need to apply negative for it to be the same. Because when you take in the negative, now it's going to be negative, what you call b plus a. So once we put the negative outside here, it means that we are we are swapping the two. So you changing the sign here will swap the two inside here. I don't know if you understand. We'll change what we call the sign inside. Okay, so here, what we have here, we have 7x in the bracket m plus 3n. Now, when we have got m, negative m, and we have got what we call negative 3, changing the sign inside here, what we call changing the sign here will also change the signs inside. So it means that we're going to say minus 4y m plus 3n. That's what we have. So now we are now having m plus 3n, m plus 3n. We take out m plus 3n. Then in other brackets, 7x minus 4y. So that becomes our final answer like that. So what we're simply saying here is that if you are to expand this, what you will get here, you're going to get negative 4ym negative 4yn, which you also get if you take in the 4 here is going to be negative 4ym. If you take it there, it's going to be also negative what? Sorry, here you have got negative what's going to be not negative 4, man. It's going to be because it's 4 times 3. It's going to be 12, guys. But I think you understand what I'm trying to say here. That is still the same thing. You get a negative here and you also have a negative there. So that's what we're saying here. Changing the sign here will also change the sign inside the bracket. Then that's what we get. Now, this is our last slide. Let's look at this again. So we've got 4x a cubed minus 2 in bracket 2 minus a cubed. So you can see we are subtracting 2 here, but here we are subtracting the negative. Then what is it? Sorry, we are subtracting a cubed. So we're going to say 4x in bracket a cubed minus 2 minus, we are changing the sign here. Once we change the sign, we'll change also the sign inside. So it's going to be a cubed minus 2. Then here, what are we going to have now? We have something that is common here, which is a cubed minus 2 in bracket, and we're left with 4x minus 1. Because a cubed into a cubed minus 2 is actually, what is it? Why am I saying? Yeah, 4x minus 1 is actually 1. So that's why we are putting 1 there. So you can also use the let a cubed minus 2 be, let's say, y. Then it's going to be 4xy minus 1. Then here is y out. Then you're left with 4x minus 1. Then here y is a cubed minus 2, 4x minus 1. That's the same answer, guys. You can see that. So either way, you get your answer. Now, let's look at this. So what I also want you to do, try to do this one on your own. Try to do this one on your own. Put a pause of the video, put it on pause, then try to do it and see if we get the same thing. Okay? Here we are seeing that 3a minus b. Here this is b minus 3a. So we're going to say it's going to be 2x squared, 3a minus b. Then here plus, we are changing the sign here, 12x in bracket, 3a minus b. Then what are we going to have here? We factor out 3a minus b. 3a minus b is common. Then you're left with the 2 squared here, 2x squared plus what you call 12x. Then if you want here, you can see that you have got 2 and 2 and 12 here. 2 still goes into 12, 2 goes into 2. We can factor out 2 outside, 3a minus b, x squared plus 6. So 2 into 12 is 6. That's what we can also have. You can leave it also like that. Then let's look at the last one here. We've got a minus 3b, 3b minus a, 3b minus a. So what can we do here? We can even change the first one. So we can change the first one, or we can change these two signs here to be a minus 3b. So which one must we do first? Let's change these ones first. So we're going to have a minus 3b. We want everything to be a minus 3b. So what do? We're going to change the sign here. C, a minus 3b. Then we're going to change again the sign here. Minus d, a minus 3b. Then from here now, we have got something common here, a minus 3b, a minus 3b, a minus 3b. So we're going to say a minus 3b. Here, a minus 3b into a minus 3b, we get 1 plus c, a minus 3b, we're going to get, what is it? Just c. Then minus d, a minus 3b, we're just going to get d. So that's your final answer like that. Or we can change the first one. We can change the first one to be 3b minus a. So how do we change it? We change the sign here. We're going to put a negative a minus, sorry, 3b minus a. Then here minus c, 3b minus a plus d, 3b minus a. Then here, we're going to have 3b minus a common. 3b minus a, we'll put it in bracket. Then we're left with negative 1, negative c plus d. So this is the same answer as we are having here. So it's up to you, whichever way you do it, you still get the same answer, okay? But here, you can think that is different. Why? Because our factor here is 3b minus 8. That's the one that we decide to change. But it still is the same thing. If we apply negative here, we're still gonna get this, what we have here. If you apply a negative here, it's gonna change every sign here that you see here, and then it's gonna go back to the same answer, okay? Some of you want to see that. Let me just say minus. So when you put minus there, it's gonna be a minus 3b here. Okay, here there's nothing to worry here. I'm just gonna confuse you here. Let's take it here and leave it here, guys. I hope you guys understand very well that what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to change the sign. Once you change the sign, you actually swap any of these terms. Once you swap them, then they look similar. You can factor it out. Here we are fighting to have 3a minus b. We must have it here. So what must we do? We change the sign here. Then it becomes 3a minus b. Then it becomes our highest common factor. So until next time, guys, thank you so much. Share with your friends.